Hello, my name is Tania Sanchez and I hope you are well. Today we see about the benefits of a culture class acquired by online experts like Bilal Jeng and Erdogan Bara. First, introduction. The integration of cultural elements in language teaching is a significant and enriching aspect, recognized for its transformative potential in language learning. This concept, extensively explored by research like Bara, emphasizes the multifaceted impact of culture on languages acquisition. In this analysis, four pivotal themes are scrutinized concerning the integration of cultural teaching in language learning, the enhancement of language skills, the cultivation of cultural awareness, the influence on attitudes toward the target culture, and its contribution to the teaching profession. Our objectives: development of intercultural communication skills. General objectives: first, develop a holistic approach to language learning. Integrate cultural elements transversely into the curriculum, recognizing that learning and language goes beyond grammar and vocabulary. Promote the understanding that culture and language are independent, preparing students for effective communication in intercultural contexts. Number 2. Expand the knowledge of foreign students. Develop activities that expose students to diverse cultures, promoting a deeper appreciation and understanding of global diversity. Simulate critical reflection on cultural similarities and difference, thus fostering a more inclusive and respectful perspective. Number 3. Instill an open and empathic attitude. Facilitate educational experience that foster empathy and openness towards cultural diversity, thus contributing to the formation of respectful and understanding individuals. To integrate reflective activities that simulate self-evaluation and cultural awareness, cultivating positive attitudes towards the exploration and appreciation of other cultures.
Hello, my name is Alejandra Arancelis Duran. According to Bilal Jeng and Erdogan Pada, cultural class can improve different language skills even if this is not their main objective. Practicing the language skills through the different activities make them improve without trying to do it on purpose, because living with the language through learning the target culture made the students acquire and improve their skills. In my point of view, cultural class bring many benefits because we are in constant contact with the target language, and by being in contact with a foreign language, we improve the different linguistic competences, because we will be like a sponge, absorbing all knowledge and relating the sounds and meanings. Our brain will think and act in that language. The different activities in the culture classes, such as debates, seminars, and presentations, help us to acquire vocabulary and to improve listening. But above all, it helps our competence because we will be interacting and talking to each other in the same target language. Thank you.
Hello, my theme is the two cultural awareness. Jeng and Bara emphasize that cultural education aims to increase cultural awareness by familiarizing students with both the native culture and the culture of the target language. This exposure goes beyond superficial knowledge and goes into social characteristics, tradition, and non-set cultural elements. The goal is to give students contextual understanding that will enable them to negative cultural complexities and use language more meaningful. About my point of view, I agree with the importance of cultural awareness in language learning. Exposure to cultural knowledge not only improves language comprehension but also the ability to engage in culturally appropriate communication. Based on personal experience, cultural awareness was a key factor in my language learning journey, enabled me to appreciate the richness of language embedded in cultural context. This peer understanding the contributes significantly to a more authentic and effective use of language.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ernesto Salguero. I belong to the Licenciatura en Lenguas Extranjeras con énfasis en inglés career from the UNAT. And this is the developing of the 10.3 attitude towards the target culture regarding the language and culture course that we are developing in the moment in terms of the activity guide. So, I divide everything between 4 points that I will explain with further concepts. Okay, first, the meeting with a different culture, even through an English class, helps to develop greatly the sense of openness towards reality itself. In different ways, there are some situations from culture and cultural settings that help the people to get closer to the reality itself, that is treating with people, that is interacting with different contexts. And this is important. And when the people is ready to receive this kind of treatment, of this kind of experience, it gets easier when it starts in the classroom. It humanizes teaching due to the presence of real-life elements. The distance between the language taught and the reality gets smaller. There are different situations when teaching English becomes boring because different pictures or different interpretations that appears on textbooks and all those tools doesn't look don't look too familiar for the student or don't look way too inexistent for them or do look way too inexistent for them. So this becomes a problem because the person is not connected with reality and it feels like something like alien or very strange for the person. There is a need to have some kind of comprehension in terms of the diversity of human behaviors. The behaviors among the different human groups in the world, depending on the territory, is very extensive. So when we add the target culture to the language teaching, it helps to understand better different behaviors that people could have depending on the context and the cultural context where the people is developing. Having a humanizing effect is an important improvement to get familiar with the language. Once we get to the idea that this language is used by real people, is used by people that coexist with different other groups, communities, and have different situations that actually could happen to us or happen to us in a different manner, we get closer to the language. We get more familiar with the language. We get to understand that this is not a strange code or any type of alien communication. It's something that happens to people that is like us, to people that feel love, that feel hate, that feel annoyed, that feel amusement, that feel different types of emotions that we also experience. So the attitude towards the target culture is pretty important, and also having this into taking this into account is important to notice that the teaching of the culture of the teaching of the language under the frame of culture is a great advancement that helps the students to develop a greater sense of openness and going beyond their own limits in terms of knowing people and how do the languages work. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Gisha Xiomara Suarez, and I am going to talk about the Emperor contribution to prospective teaching profession. According to Jens B. and Bara E. mentioned several benefits about culture class for future English teachers. First, teaching language and culture. The importance of teaching not only the language but also the associated culture is emphasized. Furthermore, after the introduction of the direct method in English language teaching, cultural elements are considered essential for learning the language. Second, familiarization with the target society. It is highlighted that the cultural class helps future teachers answer questions about English-speaking societies. The speed textbook providing real-life situations, students may struggle to relate these situations to real people if they lack knowledge about the target culture. Number 3. Assistance in teaching grammar. It is noted that some participants believe that the culture class will help them teaching grammar more effectively. Addressing grammatical issues, teachers' ability to explain new grammatical elements by referring to the life of the target language society will help students overcome comprehension problems. Number 4. Enhancing communicative competence in L2. The difference between language competence and linguistic performance is discussed. It is emphasized that communicative competence, including cultural competence, is essential for effective communication in a second language. Number 5. Expansion of vocabulary. It is mentioned that the culture class not only helps enrich its students' vocabulary but also aids them in using newly acquired words. And finally, number 6, preparation for visiting the UK or USA. The importance of cultural information for those who may visit English-speaking countries is addressed. It is highlighted that the cultural class can prepare students to face fewer cultural shocks when visiting the United Kingdom or the United States. Finally, these are the reference Jench B and Bara E 2000, Cultural in Language Learning and Teaching. Thanks.